Welcome, 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 and greetings to you. Welcome to Blended Healing tonight. You have made it to part 4. You should be rubbing your backs. You should be stretching. You should be clapping. You have done a tremendous job so far. You had done a lot of work in this shadow. Welcome, Alicia, a welcome tonight. Welcome, beloved. Welcome, Tokara. Welcome. Mayat, welcome, my love. Welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Gotcha. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. How do you guys feel to know that you are here at part 4? You have done such a wonderful job. You have made the commitment to face your shadow self. You have put the work in. You have been journaling. You have been writing down your triggers. You wrote down wonderful things about what you have learned and great things about yourself. And since you've been here on this planet, at least 50 things that you can name about yourself. I am in awe of you. You guys are amazing to me. Amazing, amazing people. You have put that work in. And tonight, we're going to step in. I'm going to do a review of part 3. You have done tremendous work. So let's touch what we touched on last week. So let me pull that up for you. You can always go back if you're missing a part. For those who are coming in late, you know what? Let me stop right here. Let me cover the chat and the platform. Father God, Mother God, we thank you. Everything that's in you is in me and us, each and every one of us. We thank you for the inner strength and the inner love and the purpose and the mission that we are on. We thank you so much. We ask for a level of protection over this platform tonight. So any negative energy that tries to enter to this space will be checked right at the door. We thank you so much for your love. We thank you so much for allowing all of that healing energy to come forth to face our shadow. We're so grateful and we're thankful. Ashe. So last week, what we covered was writing letters. We talked about that, and we went through the process of how to write a letter to yourself, as well as writing down triggers and writing some good things about ourselves, you know. And you're doing all of this in journaling because you know there's power in the pen, especially when it's put to paper, because that's your own personal spell. So, what did you learn? You know that writing a letter to yourself allows you to speak like you're speaking to a friend. You know about self-compassion and self-care. You can feel and talk to your shadow self. And of course, you were being triggered this whole time to bring up all of that stuff. But you don't have to do everything at one time. Here is an example of a healing letter that you can start to write for yourself. You can take this template and flesh it out to what you want to see. Also, you're learning how to use your own voice. Use your voice. Trust your soul. Trust your intuition as you're going through this process. And never, 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 never feel bad if you go outside to try to gain some help from a professional. You're focused. You're showing self esteem. You're motivated. I'm so excited for you. I really am. So tonight, I'm not going to keep you long, but we're going to go over what the shadow means, which is what we covered last week as well. For those who did not understand what a shadow was or what your shadow work means, it's working with your unconscious mind to uncover the parts of yourself that you repress. Your shadow isn't a flaw or mistake, it's a part of your natural self. For those who do shadow work, it's associated with trauma. It's the kind of work that helps you through that trauma and to embrace that part of yourself that was suppressed or you felt ashamed about. What is the benefits of shadow healing? Gaining more confidence, improving your own creativity, building better relationships, practicing self-acceptance, discovering your own hidden talents, and improving your wellness and compassion towards others and having better clarity of mind instead of having that scrambled brain. We all go through this. What are the triggers? Triggers are an emotional response that manifests and can come out like rage or anger or fear, and they come out unexpected. You may say or do things that you might regret later. It could be triggered by a traumatic memory, and it can also be something that you witnessed as a child. How can you manage that? Think about why you get angry. Ask yourself what made you angry. Remember the first time that that trigger appeared, and then start searching for solutions. Write the triggers down and assign them positive outcomes. This way you can measure your growth, where you came from to where you are today. But remember to always be easy on yourself. This is a work in progress. We all have emotional triggers. When you feel angry, fear, panic, stress, or anxiety, or depression, know that a trigger is right there underneath. You can manage your triggers, but it's an ongoing process. You can achieve calmness, confidence, and composure. Remember that your shadows are your friend. You have the power to heal yourself. You are strong enough and you are worthy. Always, always, always remember that you are worthy. You are not less than. Only you can change your life. So tonight we're going to come over you are. Yes. Ashe. Deep bow to you all. So tonight we're going to go over something that you may need support. Now remember when I went back to, I don't know if it was part 1 or part 2, I talked about, it had to be part 1, journaling, because I told you to write down in your journal who is your board of directors and what they mean to you. When I say board of directors, I mean who are the people that you go to that you know that you can count on, whether in different capacities, whether they advise you financially, whether they advise you, maybe they're even a cheerleader. Maybe they advise you how to work a problem out that day. Whatever capacity or whatever that looks like to you, this may be the time that you need to tap them in. Also, in the description, I put down my email address. I told you before that I wanted to put together a collective group so you guys can interact with each other. I know that taking down cell phone numbers is a little sensitive for most, but at least an email, what can harm can be. I can't think of one. But it's important tonight of all nights that I do get your email addresses because I need to check in on you during this fourth part. So, this fourth part, you're facing your fears. Each of you may look at this differently, but I know when I went through the process of facing my fears, it was the most difficult part. And I thought that writing them down, and I thought about um, doing the exercise of writing all the triggers down and all of my fears, and then trying to find a positive outcome as I read through it. And then I walked away from it. And I thought that was the hard part and writing a letter to myself, you know, just getting deep down into that, getting down to the ground, getting in the mud with my own self, spending time in my own mind and with my own heart. I had to have a box of tissues next to me all the time. I mean, it was hard, but I'm here today and I'm better for it. What I did find out in the process that shadow healing is something that will never go away. Because as you walk through this journey of life, things are going to come up to trigger you. And you're going to have to be able to sit in that when you're ready and to address it and find out what the core of that is. This is what this all is about. How to get down to the core of what triggers you and how to go back and embrace that shadow, because the shadow is a part of you, and how that shows up for you and how you can love and embrace that shadow and incorporate it back into you as a whole to make you whole. That's what this is all about. So, like I said, I'm not going to keep you long tonight because you're going to have some work. You have a lot of work to do. Good evening, Chiquita Rose. Good evening. I'm glad you made it. You can definitely catch the replay. Um, all of you can, because you're going to probably need to go back and refer to it. So that's what these tools are for. Don't forget you have tools on this platform that you can go in for self-love, for agreements to yourself. All of these things. Remember, you took out 2 years of socialization. 2 years. Some people did not make it to the dinner table today because of what happened. That's trauma. Some people broke up in their relationships. Some people found out that they don't even like themselves, you know what I mean? And then some people had to spend time with their kids and found out they didn't even like their kids. But you found a way through. You found a way through. That's a victory. So in the process, what we do in order to keep moving forward is that we learn how to suppress, because that's what we do as a people. We have to push those feelings aside and do not address them. Well, tonight, you're going to address them. So let me get over to what the expectation is for this lesson, part 4, facing your fears. And remember, I did this already, so I know what the expectation is. But don't be scared. You got this. Y'all are strong people. So let's get to it, okay? In all things, I want you to be able to breathe. Through this process, you have to be able to breathe in and drop that breath out, baby. Breathing is your friend. It helps you ground. So we already went through the process of writing your triggers down. And under each trigger, you had to answer, what is the positive outcome? So this is what it looks like or should look like inside of your journal. Trigger one, what is it? Then the positive outcomes. Then you were supposed to find out what was the root cause of that. So tonight, we're going to find out and write down the name. You're going to assign a name of who caused that fear, pain, and hurt when you dug all the way down to the core of it. Assign those triggers to a person or persons. Your next step is who triggered you now, today. And you're going to write their name or names down. Who caused the fear, pain, and hurt now for each one of your triggers. Okay? Write them down. Write them down. So don't be too hard on yourself because guess what? Now you got to call each and every one of them and tell them how you feel. But the hard part is that you have to allow them to respond to you without interruption. And we're going to talk about that. Yeah, you got to pick up the phone and talk to them. It's it's preferred to do it over the phone or doing it maybe like a Zoom call or FaceTime, whatever which vehicle would you would like to utilize. Like I said, this is the hard part because now you're facing your fears. Remember when you're doing this to use your voice. Again, it's important to use your voice. Be authentic. Trust your soul. Trust your intuition. Be true to yourself. The more that you put into this process, the more you'll get out of it. And remember, you have the courage to begin again because you are amazing. So let's talk about it. I'm going to put a link at the end of this lesson so we can talk if you would like to, if you have any questions. So yeah, so you in your journal, you listed out all of your triggers. Okay. Maybe some. We'll take top 5. Let's work on top 5. I don't want to overwhelm you. If you feel that you can get past the top 5, then let's do that. Jaquita, you are amazing. You are amazing. You're so funny. So remember, okay, that you've already written down. I know, Alicia. I know. I'm gonna just kind of like get past these comments because I want to concentrate because this is so important. And not saying that your comments aren't important, but this right here, this lesson, because I know that it's going to be viewed by many later on, and I want to concentrate on what I'm saying because I am feeling the emotion through this. And this is going to be a very emotional week for you. That's why I need to have each and every one of your email addresses because I need to check in on you while you're going through this process. You opened up your journal, you wrote out your triggers, you're doing the peeling back the onion to get to the core of it. Go back, look at video number 2 or lesson number 2 where Chiquita Rose volunteered and came up and how I brought her back through that process. If you cannot do it alone, contact somebody, please, that you trust that can help you to go back to the core issue. Okay? Get back to the core issue. Once you get back to the core of where that trigger or where that fear, that anger began, I need you now to write down who or who instilled that fear. or anger in you at that time. I need you to do that. But also be gentle with yourself. At that age of wherever it began, I need you to go back and hug that shadow and tell that shadow that it's okay. And look where you are today. Whatever that fear was, whatever that anger was, whatever that trauma was, love that baby hard. Take care of that shadow. Tell that shadow that that shadow's going to be okay because that shadow is you. That shadow is you. Assign a name to that. Also, remember when you're writing out their triggers, if you haven't done it already, and you should have, what is the positive outcome of that? What can you see positive in that trauma? What did you learn from that? And write that down. Now, we always remember what or who triggered us in the now, today. That's what we remember. Because something sparked off and we popped off like a hand grenade. Like we just passed out, faded to black. Who did that? After you identified that trigger, who's the person or the persons that triggered that today? And write that person's name down. So here you have a choice. You can either face the fear of who actually is the core person who started that fear or anger for you or trauma and talk to them about that. Or you could talk to the person that made it pop off for you here and now. You have a choice. So, what does that look like? When I did mine, I was floored that the teacher had me do that, number one. And I had to call each and every one on my list, and I had to set up an appointment. Set aside some time so you can gather your strength. Don't do it off the cuff. Set some time. Call each and every one up and say, listen, I have something I need to talk to you about. Do you have some time on XYZ day at XYZ time? They can say yay or nay. Find a time for it. If they don't have time for you, push them down to the bottom of the list and go to the next. I'm not telling you that you're going to get past that, but what you're going to do is that you're going to go to the next person until you get at least 5 people. I'm going to say 5. I'm not going to make you do any more than 5. Once you set your appointment on appointment day, you can use a vehicle like you guys agreed to either do it on FaceTime or you can agree to do it on Messenger. You can agree to do it on what's the other vehicle that you can utilize? Uh Zoom. I did mine on Zoom calls. So what I did is I called up the person and I said, this is my trigger. This is what I'm feeling, and this is how I felt when X, Y, and Z happened. And I need to just heal from this. So now I'm going to give you an opportunity to respond to what I just said. And what you can do is tell them that you can turn off your camera So all you have to do is listen to what they have to say. You have to zip your mouth. You have to sit on your hands. You have to take it and listen to the reason of why or what happened from their perspective. Woo! When you hear it from somebody else, baby, that was rough. But it opened my eyes to a lot of different things because I know that people see things differently. And where I thought it was the end of the world and where I wanted to do scorch earth and just burn everybody where they stood, I realized that that was not the right path and that was not the path for healing. So I had to take it. And once that's done, you guys can part ways amicably and just say thank you. And you're done. And now it's on to the next. And you're going to do that process for each and every one. So you can gain some resolution and put that to bed. Now, do you see why I had you go through all of those different exercises? Because it was leading up to this. So take a deep breath, y'all. Take a deep breath. Okay. So let me look at these comments. I want y'all to breathe now while I'm reading the comments. Yes, Tokara. It's very optimistic and brave. Asha. Alicia. Asha. Yay, I did. Thank you. I'm so excited. Yay. Thank you. I'm so excited. Chiquita, it's going to be all right, girl. It's going to be all right. Alicia, it's going to be all right. Chiquita, don't be stuck. 5 is a lot. What about 3? Well, here's the thing. You have the free will to do whatever you want to do. I said 5. You could do 3. When I went through the process, I had to do 20. So I was a wreck. I could have just checked in somewhere. But like I said before, whatever you put into this process is what you're going to get out of it. You can do. If that's the best that you can do, there's no harm, no foul. Because the only person you got to answer to is you. So you can do whatever feels good for you. The expectation is 5 though. But you do what you feel that you're up to doing. Because I can't but I can't, you know what I'm saying? um okay. What if they're already there? Okay. So here's the thing. I told you you had a choice. If that person who triggered you is already gone, who's to come? Are they both in hell? Are they both not here? Somebody had to trigger it in order for you to pop off. They may not be the root cause person, but they could be somebody in the here and now. Okay? I hope that helps. I know. Take a deep breath. I know. I hope I was able to help you with that. This is not a joking matter at all. Longer here who started that route for you all the way. You're welcome, Chiquita. That started that process for you, who prompted that trigger. If they're not here, who is the person today? Who is the person today who triggered you? If you can't get to the root cause person, get to the person who started it. So you can tell them how you feel and how that made you feel. Okay? How that made you feel. They are not the same as the person who caused the fear and the anger. But if you can explain or talk to the person who triggered you, so you can tell them how you feel. This is your opportunity. If you don't feel comfortable with that, here's the other part of it. Write a letter. Write a letter as though they were still here and read that out loud. Remember, spirits hear. Spirits can hear you. Spirits can hear you. I apologize. I didn't put my phone on do not disturb. Um, Spirits hear. Once you put your pen to paper, it becomes your own personal spell, your own personal incantation. When you read it aloud, it's even stronger. But at the end of the day, what you want to do is forgive, because forgiveness is not for the other person, it's for you. Because you have to get out of that energy in order to move on, to become a whole person. So I'm going to drop the link. Here's your opportunity to come up and talk, and we can talk it out, you know? All right. I hope that helps everybody. I really do, because this is really serious and it took a lot to do. But the thing that I know about all of you, the reason why you tapped in is because you wanted to know. You wanted to know because you made the commitment to heal yourself. You made the commitment to yourself to become whole. You made the commitment to try to find out the steps of how you can do that. Sure, there is many, many different ways. You don't have to do this. You can research and find another way. It's all about your comfortability levels. This is just one process amongst many. This is the process that I know that I went through. And I can tell you within 2 years' time, because I started it in 2020 after a loss of a sibling, and I was floundering and I didn't know which way to go. So I had to dismantle, or I was dismantled. I was dismantled in order for me to become better. Boy, I tell you, this technology, I kicked my own self out. Sorry, y'all. Um, like I said, I went through this process because I lost somebody and I just didn't know which way to go. And it upset me. But in the process I was dismantled. I didn't know which way to go. And I was very happy that I went through it, because I was going to quit many, many times. many, many times. And I didn't give up on myself. And I had a support team that helped me through that process. When I wanted to give up, they wouldn't allow me to give up. They would not allow me to give up. And I'm so grateful to those women to this day. I keep in touch with them. They are my sisters, and I am my sister's keeper as well. So I'm very, very grateful to that. Okay, that's very good, Takara. I'm very happy for you. So, like I said, I'm not going to keep you long. Anybody want to come up? Anybody want to talk? I dropped the link um, in the chat if you would like to come up and please, by all means, this is a safe space. If this is where you don't want to have the conversation, some of you know how to get to me, or just drop me an email and I promise you I'll get back to you. Okay? I really, really am so proud of you. You are almost home. Next Friday is going to be our last part of this series of shadow healing. And then we're going to move on to other things. But right now, in the here and now, I am here to support you. And I am talking to you from a place of love. I am talking to you from a place of wisdom. And I know what it feels like not to feel whole. I still feel like that today, but at least I know how to get myself out of that. Okay, I see you. Okay. Hey,
Hello,
Ruth,
everybody.
let me take the thing down. Let me take it down. Hold on, this is
Hi.
technology. Let me take this technology down
Get it, girl.
so everybody can see your beautiful face.
Oh, thank you. A
Hey,
lot of
boo.
occasion. Hello, everyone. Hi, Auntie.
How
Y'all,
you
this is my
doing,
spiritual
doll?
auntie. We're not gonna get into how I'm doing on here. So,
Okay. All right.
so
No problem.
my question is, okay, a lot of my shadow healing is gonna come from a relationship that recently just left out of. And I know that I cannot talk to this person because it's going to lead to a very escalated argument. So I can still just write the letter, say what I need to say out loud, and release it.
Yes. Do you, the person who is, when you drill it all down, Alicia, um, is the person who started that core fear or trauma still with us?
In one situation, that person is not. In
Okay.
a lot of other situations, that person is. And that's the ex relationship that I've just exited out of, that I'm trying my
Okay.
best to
Now,
heal triggers from, like for
okay.
instance,
S-
abandonment issues.
Okay. So now when you peel back the onion layers or your triggers and you get down to the core of that um, trigger or shadow,
Mm-hmm.
the person and the age that you were when that originally happened, that person
Mm-hmm.
is no longer with us. Okay. So, yes, your best way to do that is to write a letter.
Okay.
Write a letter and make sure that you speak it out. Remember, I told you spirits can hear.
Right, right, right. But
And
when
you
it
have
comes,
to remember some. Go ahead, continue. I'm sorry.
no, no, you go ahead.
So you remember that spirits do hear.
Right.
They hear what you're saying. And in most cases, they repent and they're sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So my suggestion of what I just heard in my head, or whoever's speaking to me right now, um, is that when you say it out loud, I want you to be aware of signs that may come up after that.
Okay, I can do that.
I want you to look at signs because of the fact that it might be received on the other side.
I didn't even
You
think that far.
understand?
Right, right. I should have knew better, but right,
I know
you're
you
right.
know, but it's okay because you caught up. It's all right. It's the calling part. I know. But yeah, just look for signs after you do that process. And just something's gonna appear
Okay.
because that information is going to be received on the other side. Remember that you personally, I know, and I'm
Mm,
not going to get all your business out there, but I know that you have the ability to understand that.
yes, I do.
Get me?
Yes,
So
it,
when you get your response back, just it could be by numbers. It could be something that reminds you of that person that something might come up. It could be a smell. It could be anything that comes up. They may reveal it to you in your dreams. Anything. Just be
okay,
aware of the trigger. I mean, be aware of the sign that comes after you do that process. That's very heavy.
okay.
Okay?
And uh, one more time,
Go ahead.
with this narcissistic relationship that has ended,
Hmm.
I just make sure this is not somebody that I can talk to, so I can still
I
write.
understand
Well,
that.
I can still write a
Hmm.
letter, right? Because I'm trying to get clear of this
Yes,
because I
ma'am.
this is blocking everything I feel, and I need to air it out. Baby, the doors need to be
Yeah,
open. Sage
yeah,
down,
yeah.
Santo,
Absolutely.
portal, all of that. Okay, cool, awesomeness.
Absolutely. Write a
Okay,
letter, and do that to them as well and speak
okay,
that out.
I
But
can do
also remember what you have to do as far as protecting yourself.
right,
You understand?
right. I
All
get
right.
it. I get.
Don't let me
Thank you.
see no knives no more, okay?
I no promise on that. I
Don't
keep
let
one.
me see no knives no more.
I keep one on me. I apologize.
All right.
No, I have issues with hot fire. I have not. So yes, ma'am.
Listen. All right.
Gratitude be.
We controlling the hand grenades tonight. We controlling the hand grenades tonight. Thank
So
you
I'm gonna
so
write it
much
down.
for coming up, and I hope I was able to help you with that.
Yes, ma'am. Gratitude
Yeah.
be vowed.
Remember,
You.
I told you that's definitely a powerful way of doing that. Like I told you, pen to paper is powerful.
Right.
Speaking it out
Work.
loud is even stronger.
Right.
You understand?
I do.
Okay. And then you're gonna let that go. Now, whatever process you want to do as far as burning that, that's up to you.
Hmm.
Complete it.
I like my journal,
Complete it.
but okay. I
No,
understand.
that
I,
letter, not the journal, but that letter
okay.
to those two toxic individuals, complete the process.
Okay.
You understand?
I got it.
What I'm trying, for those who don't understand what I'm telling Alicia, is that by completing the process, if you can't get to the person or persons that hurt you or the root of that, can't be serious right now. Um, if you can't get to the person or persons that do that, what you're going to do is write the letter. Once you write it, once you read it out loud, how many times you need to do it in order to clear yourself, burn that letter, let it go, complete the process, okay? Complete the process. Is there any other questions tonight? Anybody else want to come up and hit? I'm going to put my little overlay on until I see who it is. Is there anybody else? Okay. As promised, I'm not going to keep you long tonight. If you do not feel comfortable in coming up and asking questions, please hit my email so I could check on you. All right. And then next Friday at 8 p.m. will be the last of our series. It will be part 5, the last of our series. And I want you all to be prepared for that, and it's going to be great. So, once again, I thank you so much for trusting me and helping you through this process. I love you from a genuine place. Be well, stay safe, and I'll talk to you very soon. Ashe and deep bow, warriors.